Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Thursday, January 1st, 2015, around 8:38 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a cold night out there, but clear. And tomorrow's going to be another cold day, but sunshine. Saturday's when it's going to cloud over. And we're going to have some sloppy weather Saturday night, Sunday morning in the Billerica area. Could start off as some snow showers, then turn to a steadier snow, and then a mix of ice, and then eventually rain, but the temperatures are going to shoot up to the 50s on Sunday. Some news to report. I am going to the Boston Celtics game on February 6th, so hopefully the Celtics win on that night. And also sad news to report in the world of politics. Long-time former New York Governor Mario Cuomo passed away at the age of 82. And that's about it on that. My third and final video blog of the night is about my personality profile tonight. My personality profile tonight is about CBS's golf announcer Bill Manatee. Bill Manatee's been in sports, covering sports for close over 30 years. Bill was born in Rome, New York, and he grew up in El Paso, Texas. He graduated from Lamar University in 1978, and Bill started his career as a sports reporter and anchor for several television stations in Texas and Kansas City for about 5 years. In 1982, Bill signed with NBC Sports, and he was only 26 at the time, and Bill was the youngest network sportscaster at that time, and Bill worked for NBC for the next several years. He reported on the NFL. He was actually one of the co-hosts for NFL 83. He also did some interviews at Super Bowl 18, and he also did the Rose Bowl. He was a reporter for the Rose Bowl for many years when NBC had the rights to the Rose Bowl game. He also worked as a reporter for Major League Baseball for the League Championship Series games and the World Series games on NBC. He also hosted the Major League Baseball pregame show for the Game of the Week for a few years. And he also worked hosted Wimbledon and the French Open for NBC. And he also was on Sports World, which was the NBC's version of ABC's Wide World of Sports, which covered a lot of wacky sports like sumo wrestling and fly fishing and the world jump rope contest and stuff like that. And also when Bill was working at NBC, he was actually the sports correspondent for the Today Show for a few years, and he also was the sports anchor for the NBC News at sunrise and also for Sunday Today. In 1988, Bill left NBC and he became the sports anchor for the USA Today television show, which was only lasted about 15 months. It was one of the biggest television flops in syndication history. They didn't get too much clearance for in big markets or low clearance for time slots, so it lasted 15 months. In 1990, Bill signed with the USA Network, and for the next 16 years he worked for the USA Network hosting the PGA Golf Tour coverage, and he also did play-by-play for the French Open and the US Open tennis tournaments for the USA Network, and he did some figure skating. And Bill was also the host of the Masters tournament on the USA Network. He interviewed the players from the famous Butler cabin. And in 1995, Bill has signed with CBS Sports, and he still works for CBS Sports this day, and he's done a lot of sports for CBS Sports. He worked for he works doing the PGA Tour. He's like the substitute host of the PGA Tour on CBS when Jim Nantz is on vacation. He's also done the Masters and the PGA Championship for CBS. He's also worked for the U.S. Open Tennis Tournament for CBS when they had their rights. He was first like a reporter, then he became the lead play-by-play announcer from 2012 to 2014 when CBS lost the rights to the U.S. Open. He was a weekend anchor for the 1998 Winter Olympics when CBS had the rights. He also did the NCAA men's basketball games for CBS, and he was like a sideline reporter for the NCAA men's tournament, and he also did the Division II men's championship. He's also done figure skating for CBS, boxing, bowling, gymnastics, sumo wrestling, and for 17 years, Bill was on the NFL games for CBS. For the first 13 seasons he did the NFL for CBS. He was a 7th or 8th announcer, meaning he won't only do maybe 2 or 3 NFL games a year for the CBS Sports. Usually he did not do the teams that were good. He did the teams that were bad, that were only shown in those home team markets and stuff like that. Eventually, in 2010, Bill became the number 6 play-by-play announcer for CBS for the NFL. So he appeared on most weeks, but not all of the weeks. I think Bill's on when he worked to doing the NFL on CBS. I think Bill only worked about 2 or 3 Patriots games. He did 2 or 3 Patriots games. He was dropped from the NFL and CBS broadcasting team at the end of the 2013 season. And also Bill works for the Tennis Network as a host and play-by-play announcer for all the major tennis tournaments on the Grand Slam, the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open and stuff like that. Bill's more known as a tennis announcer than anything else, and he's probably one of the best tennis announcers on television, and he's had a distinguished career for doing sports, which is pretty amazing considering that he's only 60 years old. He's been around over 30 years. That's pretty amazing for him, and he's not been a top announcer for NBC or CBS, but he's been kind of a steady announcer and stuff, well known, and he's underrated in many aspects like that. I'm very surprised that CBS did not give him a prominent role for the NFL or the NCAA men's basketball tournament, because he's been around for years, but there's other play-by-play announcers who are higher than him on the totem pole, and they just probably don't want to give him the shot. But you never know. Maybe he'll be back doing NFL games on CBS in 2015. You never know. And that's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow, Facebook friends and YouTube followers, with 3 more video blogs. I'm going to be doing the video blogs of the top 10 greatest Milwaukee Brewers players in history. And then the second video blog of the day, I'm going to do one about something about why they never had the WrestleMania 8 main event between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about Milwaukee Brewers play-by-play announcer on Fox Sports Wisconsin, and Turner and CBS Sports announcer Brian Anderson. And don't forget, Facebook friends and YouTube followers, coming in 11 more days will be my reviews of the first 13 Royal Rumbles. Have a good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.